Hey everybody, Alex with AM Tuned. Happy Friday. Wanted to give a little update on the next project we're starting on. And if you'd like to follow our videos and our pictures, our builds, we do post a lot more on Instagram. It's Alex_AM Tuned on Instagram. But let me show you what we got going on back here. So we finished up this V6 3.0 liter supercharged engine. And this one actually set me back quite a bit, about 2 days. Something very interesting happened to it. It's all ready now. It's all set to go. It's heading out today back to the customer. But this one had head studs supplied by the customer. And we clamped down the heads with the head studs with the required lubricant to the torque they specified. And overnight on bank 2 of this engine, one of the studs decided to eject itself out of the block, out of the engine. It actually cracked right at the top of the threads on the block side. So not really sure what was going on with that. Everybody I've spoken to thinks it was a bad heat treatment process during manufacturing. Those studs are heading back to their manufacturer for testing. I'm not going to say who they were from, but if you go on our Instagram, you can look up and there's more about that. It's Alex_AM Tuned on Instagram. And we had a RS4 come in last week. It's up there. Nice all black RS4. That is its heart right here, sitting on our floor. Just came out yesterday. One of our technicians pulled it out. And this is getting one of our stage 3 turbo setups. Fully built, fully forged. Customer wants all the beans, and he's going to get it. And I'm starting on a new project today. Very excited about. This is a Audi R8 4.2 liter, a early generation one, engine code BYH. We went ahead and sleeved this block, as with all of our builds. Got a plateau hone finish on it. We use a diamond hone for finishing as well. And we do this so we have minimal break-in time on the engines. Really, they don't even have to be broken in, but we do a few miles with some break-in oil, just mostly to get any contaminants out of the system that may have been left from the machining process. And onto the rotating assembly. Excuse me. So on these R8s and all our other 4.2 builds, we love King. We use a lot of their bearings. In this build, we're going to use their Alpha A P-Max coat bearings for the connecting rods. For the early gen R8s, there's no King options for the main bearings, so we do use the OEM Audi ones. They work just fine, handle a lot of power, and can get them over at a 4-digit range, which this car won't be. So this customer, let me talk a little bit more about the rotating assembly, but we'll get back to that. Our Sains AM tuned connecting rods. We use our JE spec AM tuned pistons. These are 9.5 to 1 compression. JE 93 series pins. Got a lot of meat on them. All our rotating assembly, for the components that we offer aftermarket, we make sure that they can handle 250 horsepower per cylinder. So it's quite a lot of power. I don't think anybody will ever get there anytime soon, but hopefully somebody takes that as a challenge. On the crankshaft, we use the factory crankshaft. They are forged, very stout, hold a lot of power. We rebalance them, add weight where it's needed. Got one on this counterbalance and another one back here on the rear counterbalance. We also take away weight where needed. And on the balancing, we also do components individually too. So as you can see, this connecting rod took some weight away from the pin side. Make sure everything's spinning tip-top shape. So this build's exciting because most of the times, even with these R8s, the RS4s, S5s, S4s, 4.2 liters, and now the 3.0 liters, customers will send us their engine from out of state or even out of country sometimes. We rebuild them, and then they go back. And it's great, it's fine. Love to rebuild engines, but very rarely do we get to see how the vehicle performs afterwards. So this one's very nice because we have the vehicle here. I'm gonna rebuild everything, put it back in the vehicle, and on top of getting to see the vehicle run and us assembling it back together, we are gonna install a AM tuned twin turbo kit on this car. So it should be very exciting when done. We're using, not our very large, we're using a G25 550 variant twin turbos. Customer wants a very responsive street vehicle. So he doesn't want it to be the fastest car in the world, break any records, but it's going to be a very fast, very fun, daily driven street vehicle that's going to be reliable, take out whenever you want, turnkey. So more to come on this. I'll be working on it this week, and the turbo fabrication starts when the engine's back in. So be sure to follow us.